Hello, ghouls and gorehounds. It's Virus. What you have before you are the makings of what is going to be air squibs. Squibs are generally what they use to do gunshots and multiple blood effect shots with. They're usually done with pyrotechnics, minor explosives on the body that are between a metal plate and a blood packet, and they explode and cause a gunshot effect. So I'm not a pyrotechnic person, nor do I have a license, and these are much safer. We're actually going to be using a good old water fire extinguisher. This is not one that shoots chemicals. This one only shoots water. And it is refillable, so you can refill it yourself and put whatever you want in it that will shoot out. And these are the items that we're going to use to turn this into a powerful air squib cannon, so to speak. So let's get started. I got all of these materials at Lowe's. You can buy everything that you see here, minus this, at Lowe's for about $40. I'm sure you could probably find it cheaper, maybe at another store, but that's what I spent, was about $40. So you can find these on eBay for between $30 to $100. It depends. You got to be careful and make sure that you get ones that have a proper gauge. Make sure that they're not too dinged up or have any holes or ruptures in them, and the hoses are still okay and the interiors work fine, because you don't want to buy one and find out that you have to replace a valve or O-rings or anything like that. So, and we also got some buckets here. These buckets are going to be for the blood that we make. A good idea is to get buckets that have a pourable area. It's really difficult to try and pour out of a bucket just like this, especially into a tiny area that is on the fire extinguisher. It's a lot easier to pour it into something like this. So what we're going to do is get started, and I'll show you guys how to make these things. First, let's open everything up. It's ironic I need a knife to open up a knife kind of razor. Anyway, let's open these up here. Kind of difficult time I have trying to get this thing open. Of course, I could be going about this a much easier way. Alright. Ooh, this is a nice one too. I'm gonna need, I needed to buy one of these anyway, but you're gonna need a utility knife or really sharp knife. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. Cobalt, and it's got cobalt blue. Forgive the noise, that's my best friend and doggy Chucky in the background. So sorry for the barking noise. But anyway, this is a utility knife, but you're going to need this because you're going to need to cut into the plastic tubing. This is really cool. I'm not quite sure how it works there. That comes off, I know. And how do you replace the blade here? I could probably read the instructions and figure it out. But it does fold. That is awesome. Perfect. I like this. It's nice. Alright. Put this away. And it came with a box of 10 blades, which is awesome, because you always need blades. I have a trash over here. So what you're going to need is, now that I have this, this tubing. This is 3/8 inch by 1.5 inch. This 3/8 is the inside diameter. The 3/8 inch is good because that will fit nicely onto the end of the fire extinguisher. I found that if you use something other than 3/8 inch, if it's any bigger, you have a problem trying to find connectors and stuff for it. And if you use something smaller, it's just not going to fit, and it's not going to get the flow of blood and air through the tube properly. So let's cut off our little tags here. I hate tags. I really hate stickers and tags, like on movies and stuff like this, and it really perturbs me when they stick and you have to peel them off little by little. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I won't do it now, but I know later on when the cameras are off, I'll spend 20 minutes trying to get this shit off of here. For what reason, I don't know. It doesn't do anything except drive me crazy. Fuck it. I won't do it right now. Cut this. So here's our tubing. You generally want to go with, I would say at the bare minimum, 8 feet of tubing. Some people go 6. You know, I would say between 8 and 12 feet, because what you want to do is make sure you have enough tubing to run from here to your actor and get you completely out of the shot. Now that could be you put a rig on the chest or rig, you know, wherever you're going to put the bullet holes and then the shot's coming out. You want to be able to be completely off camera, and you have to hide the remaining of the tube in the wardrobe. So this is this. I think this is. I cut it off. I think this is 8 to 10 feet. I think this is about what this is. You need gaffer's tape or duct tape, really heavy duty tape. A lot of people buy the black kind. Gaffer's tape generally, I guess, comes in black. You know, duct tape is usually in gray. I got it in white because when you're doing blood effects and whatnot, it's generally not a good idea to do them on darker clothing. So if you're gonna use dark tape and you're gonna use white clothing, it has a tendency to show through, obviously. You don't want a big square of tape showing through the underside of a light shirt. So I just get white. That usually cuts the problem out right there, so you don't have to worry about this big black square underneath the actor's shirt. Same with Velcro. We're going to use Velcro to adhere this down to the tubing. Anyway, I get white Velcro as well. It just alleviates those two problems. So, all right, and so we're also going to need a plug. This is a 1/2-inch plug. This is actually a brass plug. You can get the same type of plugs in PVC, plastic ones. I was looking for a plastic one, but I couldn't find one, so I had to buy this brass plug. But that's okay. This plug right here is actually going to go into the end of the tube and completely shut it off, because we're going to plug this up and then cut the area out where the blood is going to come spurting out. You don't want to just leave this area open, because your blood is just going to come out like in a big hose, and then it's just so unrealistic. It doesn't look good. So we got the plug, tape, the Velcro to attach this to the fire extinguisher. What you're going to need to do is get some hose clamps. Now I've got 2 different sizes. This size right here is, I can't remember, I think this is 5/16, and this is 1/2 inch. Just in case, I wasn't exactly sure what sizes I needed, because I hadn't looked at this tube to find out. So, and last but not least, we got the lid for the blood, so we can store it and keep it fresh, that way it doesn't dry out. And some stickers. These are stickers from my film company, a movie, and something that somebody gave me, because we're going to clean a little spot off here and put some stickers on that and make it personal. So I will take a break for a second here and get some stuff ready, and then we'll come back. Alright, guys and ghouls, I'm back. I just had to grab some cleaning stuff. This is the only thing I can find really quick, so I'm just going to use a little bit of this on here. And let's see. Let's clean. We'll clean this right here. Doesn't have to be clean. Should get some of the grime off so I can put some stickers on there. I love stickers. I absolutely love stickers. My car is full of stickers. My case for my camera is full of stickers. I just love stickers. So we're gonna place some stickers on here, and then we'll come back and show you how to make this thing. Okay, everybody, we're back, and I got some stickers on there, a few of mine, and this awesome one right here. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and start making this thing. Okay, guys, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna make a plug. Take the plug, and we're gonna stick it into the end of one of these, on one side of this. So, and this is a little tricky. So I think this plug is just a tad bit too big, which is okay. Once we get it in there, we just need to get it started. Oops. Just need to get it started, and then we're going to hammer it in. So. We just want to make sure that we get it in there as much as possible. Because we definitely don't want anything coming out of the end, so. Not sure you can see what I'm doing here. Just hammering it down in there. Okay. Alright. So once you have your plug in, what you're going to do is right underneath it, what we're going to do is take our utility knife and we're going to cut the shape of an eye. Not the letter I, but like an eyeball. Best way to do that is we're going to take and make a straight cut. You want to make sure you don't go all the way to the back. That would suck. And then we're going to make an angle cut up underneath it. Just like that. And what that's going to do is that's going to leave an area where, I don't know if you can see that in there, that's going to leave an area that's going to allow the blood to not come out in like one big spray, but it's going to leave like a sort of a red plume when the blood does come out. It'll create a much more interesting and realistic look when the blood does disperse. Trying to get that plug in there, but I think that's as far as it's gonna go. Okay, so there. Now we have this side finished. This side is done. All right, let me set that to the side. Let's open up our tape here. When you're thinking about making something like this, you want to, well, at least I do anyway, you want to think of the longevity of the device that you're making. This is for low budget independent film. That's what I make. And even though it is low budget independent films, I still try to provide a sense of quality and care. So I'm not just going to throw something together with, some duct tape and some zip ties and then call it good. I want to try and make something that I can use that's going to be repeatable and consistent. So that's why I'm going through all of this trouble, because I want to be able to take this and utilize it. I can take the thing off, use this for many different things, and then put the contraption back on and use this repeatedly over and over. So now we're going to take the part that we just cut here. We're going to take our tape and take, I don't know, about 3 or 4 inches of it, and lay it down. Then get my fingers off of it. We're going to take the side that has the cut in it and face it up, and the part with the opening just about, I would say, 1/4 of an inch down below, just so that it sticks to it like that. Keep this from falling. Alright, now we're going to take a piece approximately the same size, and we're going to lay this piece on top of that one, creating sort of a pocket. Oops. Now, remember, once duct tape sticks to itself, it's impossible to get off, so you want to try to make this look good. And there we go. Sealed in there, a little pocket. So now this is what we have. The hole is right here, very easy to see. You can push down on there. What we're going to do is cut out that little hole right there. I'm going to secure this just a little bit, and like I said, I know it's kind of silly, but I do like to keep everything nice and neat, so I'm gonna take some scissors and just trim off the edges so that they look a little more presentable and nice. But first we're gonna go ahead and cut the tape out here. And we can easily do that because the hole is right there, so very easy to do. I say very easy to do, and then I struggle trying to do it. Get out of there. Okay. And then you just want to make sure that none of that stickiness is sticking out. Okay, so now it's all trimmed and ready. This is what you should have right now. That's what it looks like. And what we're going to do is we're going to add Velcro to this so that when it's ready to be used, this can be placed against the actor. Velcro can go onto the shirt or the chest or wherever you're going to place the squib, and completely reusable. So now we're going to get some Velcro. Like I said, I use white. I really like to use white because that's not going to create a problem. And Velcro you can buy in different lengths and sizes and thicknesses. You want to make sure you get the right type for what you're trying to do. This is actually that's like almost exactly the same as the tape. So now you got to remember that this is the side where the blood is going to come out, so this is always going to be wet and sticky and nasty. The side that's going to work best on here is the hook side, not the Velcro soft side, because that's going to wear down a lot and get really nasty and get stuff in it. So we're going to put the hook side on the wet side. So let's my dogs again. So I got some scissors here. Make a mark. It always helps too to have sharp scissors while you're doing this, because if you have dull scissors, these are surgical scissors. Surgical scissors used to cut through clothing really quick or bandages. They work great. But if you have dull scissors, it really makes it frustrating and a lot harder than it needs to be, and you just get pissed off really easy. This keeps flopping around, so we're gonna stop that. Stop it. There we go. Alright, actually that doesn't work. So make sure you have the sizes that you need. And we're going to attach it here. Peel off the backing. And this is the reason why we had to put the tape. So that we had something to adhere the Velcro to. Now, I know a lot of special effects artists and whatnot. They quickly do things like this, and like I said previously, I am definitely a pain in the ass perfectionist when it comes to stuff like this. So I definitely have a tendency to take my time, even on the smallest things, because I think that when you do, it really shows in your work. I'm not saying that a quickly put together squib like this isn't going to give the same effect and look worse than one that you take time on, but I think in all aspects of being creative, that when you take your time, it shows. It really does. And it's also appreciated in the industry, definitely. It's appreciated when, not when you take your time necessarily, because you're always on schedule. You have a budget and a timeline and a deadline, and you have to keep on that. That's for sure. But when you put a lot of care into your work, then it shows. Okay, so this is what we have so far on the front. This is the hook side. Okay, ghouls and gore hounds. This is what we have now. I did the Velcro on the front and also did it on the back, so that this is a very sturdy piece. So what happens is, this is the actor. Usually what I will do, almost all the time, what I will do is have the actor wear a shirt over the top, and then there's the shirt on top of that shirt, because you don't want this directly on the skin and irritate and all that stuff. So anyway, so what happens is, this is the squib, and the actor's shirt will be right here, and this will Velcro onto the shirt itself. You never want to Velcro this to the body, even if they're wearing an undershirt, because you want the effect to be such that it sprays out and you see damage to the shirt. If this is Velcro to the body and the shirt's, this is a side view, and the shirt's hanging out here, well, you're not going to get that poof and that explosion. So you want it directly up against the shirt so that you get that explosion, and that looks like that bullet hit that you see in, blockbuster films. So anyway, so what this is this is the loop side, I think, or the hook side. Anyway, this is the rough side, and what we'll do is we'll take the actor's shirt and we'll place the soft parts there, and connect it just like that. And there'll be a tiny little area in the shirt that is able to explode and let that blood out, and that's how it goes. So this is the delivery system. This is completely reusable. You clean this off a little bit with some soap and water if you need to after every take, you know, or when you're done with the shoot, and you can use this as many times as you want until the thing that's going to wear away on this will be the tape, and very easy to recreate and make another one if need be. So that's it right there. Now what we're going to do is take the other end right here, and we're going to attach it to the pressure hose right here. So this is another tight fit, which is good. You want it to be, definitely need it to be tight. So it takes a little bit of finagling. We don't want this to fall. So I'll put it get it in there as far as we can. Oh, absolutely forgot something. Definitely want to put on the these guys first. So I'll take off this. And on this side, see, this is the easy part, because this is where we'll attach it and then use a hose clamp to tighten it down. And this is easily detachable, so you can use your extinguisher for other things, of course. So we'll put that on there, just like that. As you can see, take our hose clamp, and now you can use a ratchet style or just a screwdriver for this. Now you don't want to ratchet it down too much, because the more you do it, the tighter it's going to get, and it can break that plastic. So, and to be quite honest, a ratchet is so much easier than using a screwdriver. My dogs are going crazy. They're chasing squirrels. There we go. There we go. That's on. That's on tight enough. All right. So now we have our extinguisher, just like this, all the way through to our hose, and into our air squib, just like that. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and pressure this guy up and fill it up with some water. We're going to do a water test first, see how the air travels through it, and we'll film that. Alright guys, I have it prepped and ready, filled up, and we're going to test it. This is just water, but we're going to see how it goes. So I have everything in there, it's all lined up. Alright, so if this was hooked to the actual person, hold it about like this, pin is out and ready to go. So what we're going to do first is we want to bleed the line. It's only water, so it's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to bleed the line and get the water up to the actual squib first. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's going up there. And it's get some of the air bubbles out. Oops, whoa, let it go too quick. Okay, so it's up to the top. Now, if that were blood in there, I would have made a mess. I would have had to stop, clean up the actor, and then production would have been waiting on me, and that would have been horrible. So you want to be very careful when you use the pressure in here. Now, I only filled it up to about 30 PSI. 100 PSI is the max that you'd want to go, but it's about 30 PSI since it's just a demonstration. So, all right, so here we go. So like on the count of 3, we'll simulate the gunshot, it would be a 1, 2, 3, boom. Oh! And since it wasn't hooked to anything, it shot back and got me soaking wet. Okay, so that was a successful test. Had this been behind a shirt and attached to the back of a shirt, it would not have sprayed that far. It would have been able to come out, and most of it, 80% of it hopefully, would have been trapped underneath the shirt, which would create that nice big blood splatter you see, and the stuff that did shoot out would look really good. I'm actually gonna hold it like this, so if this were to, there we go. Ready, 1, and the good thing about this is, if you fill this up enough and you have to do another take, or you want to put this bullet somewhere else and shoot as if he's getting somewhere else, getting shot somewhere else, you could do that too. So 1, 2, and 3, that's a good one, just like that. Now we can let it loose. There we go. Now we're gonna check. I gotta check on something. Okay, it is coming out. Let's see if it's coming out of the plug at all. I don't know if it is. I don't think so. But you can have like continuous blood squirt. This would be good for you can, not this particular piece because this is a squib, but you could use this for a slashed throat, and the blood just keeps squirting out. That, the heartbeat. Oh, it's perfect. So I'm going to check the line and make sure that I have everything connected. There's nothing coming out there. I don't think it's coming out of the plug. Kind of simulates a heartbeat. That's so cool. See how it doesn't come out in a continuous stream. It kind of it fans itself a little bit. So it's kind of like a plume of blood, and it comes out in very fine droplets as well as thick, chunky, full droplets, which creates a really good effect, especially if it's red and it's not water. You can also get that. If you wanted to fill it up with watery blood and turn the pressure up, you get a nice sort of almost chemical like looking spray rather than chunks and water droplets. All right. Now I gotta bleed it out and get rid of all the water and clean up and go from there.